I'm Gurveen Sandhu, Assistant Professor in Amritsar Group of Colleges. So today we are going to discuss the topic, the balanced scorecard approach. Now this approach, balanced scorecard approach, is basically an approach which is used to create a balance between the strategic planning of an organization along with the vision and mission of the organization. So how to create a balance in an organization, an alignment of the strategic planning of an organization. So these things are being utilized and these things are being practiced with this approach. So let's have the introduction part. The balanced scorecard is a strategic planning. It's a management system which creates an alignment between the business activities. Now, how these business activities they are creating an alignment to the vision and the strategy of the organization by monitoring the performance against the strategic goals. So here we are going to compare the strategic goals along with the performance. So how the performance will be measured? It will be measured on these four parameters. So basically it is a form of a strategic planning for an organization. So this is how here at the center we can see that the vision and the strategies are there. They are being monitored, they are being aligned with the four parameters, and these four parameters are the finance, internal business, learning and growth, and the customers. So let's see what's further is. So balanced scorecard concept was introduced in 1992 by Kaplan and Norton. It was being published in a book followed in the year 1996. The traditional performance measurement system, which was focusing only and only on the accounting data, it has already been obsolete. So presently we are working with the balanced scorecard approach, which was being published in 1996. The approach is to provide a balance to the financial perspective. So here we are going to put more stress upon the financial perspective of an organization. So how we are going to work upon the returns, investments, credits, debits, all those things would have a main stress upon it. So why we are using this balanced scorecard? It improves the organizational performance by measuring what matters. Now what matters more, what is more important, that is being considered in the balanced scorecard. It increased the focus on the strategies and the results. Now, what strategies are being maintained for an organization to work properly, and out of those, what performance is coming out? So what results we are getting? So these two have an alignment between the strategies and the result. If there is an alignment, then the organization is going in a good position. Otherwise, there is some distraction and the organization is not going for a profit earning organization. Align organization strategy with the workers on a day-to-day basis. So every day the strategies are being checked upon, strategies are being improved, and the day-to-day working is being noticed. Focus on the driver key to future performance. Improve communication of the organization's visions and the strategies. So they should have a correlation among them. They should have an alignment between them. Prioritize the projects and the initiatives. Which is more important, that should be kept at the first position, followed by the second one, followed by the third one, and last would be the least important. For organization business perspective, which we have discussed, which we have talked about in the first slide, that it is basically working upon the four things. So these four perspectives are finance, internal business, learning and growth, and the customer. Now, finances, to succeed financially, how should we appear to the shareholders? So how we are going to appear to the shareholder, that is the main perspective of the finance. Then internal business perspective, to satisfy our shareholders and the customers, what business process must we excel at? So what we can do in the best in the business process. So accelerating and the best outcomes of this business, internal business process is to be considered. And with this, what will happen? It is going to satisfy the customer along with the shareholders. Next is the learning and the growth. To achieve our vision, how will we sustain in our ability to change and improve? So how we can change? Learning, we are learning new strategies. We are improving our strategy, we are improving our way of working. With this improvement and with this learning, we are going to go for the growth perspective. So it will be future oriented, it will be growing in the future. Next, customers. To achieve our vision, how should we appear to our customers? So customers should be satisfied with the organization, customers should be satisfied with the product produced by the organization. So if the customers are satisfied, then automatically the organization is in a good position. 4 business perspective questions. Now, what financial we say? What must we do to create a sustainable economic value of the organization? Next, internal business process. To satisfy our stakeholders, what must be our level of productivity, efficiency, and quality? How we are going to improve? What our best way of producing the things can be? How the organization can work very well? How the organization can improve its production? Learning and growth, third one. How does our employee performance management system, including the feedback to the employees, support the higher performance? So if the performance is measurable, if the employee's performance is measurable, if the organization performance is measurable, automatically the improvement is there. So if the performance is good, feedback is good, automatically the growth is achievable. Next, last, the customers. What do our customers require from us and how are we doing according to their requirements? So what is the requirement? What is the need of the customer? What is the want of the customer? As per the need and the want of the customer, the organization should understand that what is the customer demanding. If the customer demand is understandable by the organization, automatically the customers are happy, and in return, the organization is working in a proper way. So these are the generic measurements upon which these 4 perspectives are being covered. So under the financial, return of capital employed, economic value added, sale growth and cash flow. For the customers, customer satisfaction, retention of the customers, acquisition, profitability, and the market share. Internal business process includes measurement along with the internal value change for innovation. So what new can be done? What new inventions can be done? How company can identify the new future needs of the customers. Operation, measures of quality, cycle time, and the cost. What is being produced, what operations are being done, what is the quality, what is the cycle time, all those things. Next, post-sale services. After sales, what services are being provided? Measuring of the warranty, repair, treatment of the defect, and the return, and the most important thing, installations. So installation is the another after sales services. Then learning and the growth includes measurement for people, employee retention, training, skills, morale. Systems would include the measuring of the availability of the critical real-time information needed for the frontline employees. So in the learning and in the growth, both the things should go into coordination. People should understand what new system is being introduced, what new technology is being introduced, and the people should adapt those things. People should have the morale, people should be given a training. Now here people, we refer to the employees of the organization. So employee retention is the most important. To retain the employee, proper training should be given. Highly motivated employees should be there so that they can work properly in the organization. And automatically, the people and the system would include each and everything. The management also, the technology also, the way of working also. So they should go into the coordination. Key implementation of the success factors would include how we are implementing this balanced scorecard, obtain executives sponsorship and commitment involving a board base of the leaders, managers, and the employee in the scorecard development. Choose the right scorecard champion. Begin interactive. That would be two-way. It would be interactive communication. First, viewing the scorecard as a long-term journey, then rather than viewing it as a short-term project. Getting outside help if needed. So experts can be called upon if it is required. Now, this is a strategic map of a balanced scorecard. So we will do one by one. First is the financial perspective. So financial perspective basically works upon improving the shareholders' value. Now it would work only and only with the strategies and with the revenue, that is the cash flow. So first would be the revenue growth strategy. It will be built with the franchises. New franchises are given increased customers value, that is customers profitability. Again, productive strategies would improve the cost of the structure and improve the assets utilization. So this is how the things are going. First, we will go one by one. Then we will discuss the correlation of all these phases. Now, customer value perspective would include customers acquisition, customers retention, productive leadership. So price, quality, time, functionality, services. Now, product service attribute would be price, quality, time, and functionality. Relationship would include the services and the relationship for the product, and image would be the brand. So operational excellence, customer value propositions, customers intimacy, and the product leadership. Next is the internal perspectives. Internal perspective would be build the franchisee, new innovations would be there, increase customer value, that will be customer management process. It would be further lead to the achieve of the operational excellence. Further, it will lead to be a good corporate citizen. Now, when we are talking of the environmental processes, it is going directly to affect the shareholders' value. So it is going to direct shareholders' value. Further, to achieve the operational excellence, it will lead to the improve the asset utilization. So each and every perspective, each and every column that is correlated to the improvement of the shareholders' value. That is the first one. Last would be learning and the growth perspective. That would be strategy competency, strategic technology, climate of action, a motivated and the prepared workforce. So they are correlated with the internal perspective. Internal perspective is further related to the customer's value. See here we are seeing the arrows which are related to the customer value perspective. Further, this customer value perspective will be related to the financial perspective in the form of the customers acquisition and customers retention. So this is known as the balanced scorecard generic strategy map. Now, if that was related to one big organization. Now we can talk about the same in the department also. So in the department, we will talk about the different questions over here. How do we look to the management? That is the business value. Further, what must we excel at? So they will be both related to the business value and the internal process. Are we working efficiently? How can we continue to improve and create the value? That is the future readiness. Further, what can we do to meet the future needs of the users? That would be user oriented. So that would be related again to the future. That would be user oriented. So what technology and business opportunity challenges are emerging? So these things all together, they will lead to the success of a service. How it is going to lead to the success of the service? That would be related to the core value, and that is this one. Internal efficiency plus customer satisfaction would lead to the service success. That is the organization success. That will lead to the success of a department itself, and further all the departments will lead to the success of the organization. The drawbacks or the pitfalls related to the scorecard potential. So every theory, every approach, they have the positives and the negatives. So let's talk about the pitfalls of the scorecard approach. Lack of well-defined strategy. So here the strategies are not defined. They are correlated. They are understandable, but how they are going to link with the different objections and the merits, that is not being declared over here. So the balanced scorecard relies on a well-defined strategy and understanding of the linkage between the strategic objections and the metrics. Without this foundation, the implementation would fail. Second, too much focus on the lagging measures. Focusing on only the lagging measures can cause a lack of priority and opportunity for the leading measures. Use of the generic metrics. Do not just copy the metrics from the another firm. Identify the measures that can be applied to your strategy and the competitive position. So they are picking the things the same. The same generic plan is picked for each and every organization. Self-serving managers. Managers whose goal is to achieve the desired result in order to obtain a bonus or other self-rewards. So the managers, they should work on their own. It should not be based upon some force, or it should not be based upon some obligations related to it. Benefits. Next are the benefits. Help aligning the key performance measures with the strategies at all the levels of the organization. So key performance measurings are being captured over here. The methodology facilitates communication and understanding of the business goals and strategies at all the levels of an organization. Strategic initiative that follows best practices methodologies that cascade through the entire organization. Transformation on the organization mission statement and strategic planning from the passive documents into a marching order for the organization on a daily basis. So every day we are going to put the order upon it. Every day we are going to check the strategy, and every day we are going to make the improvement into it. It allows executives to truly execute their strategies by identifying what should be done and measured. So the executive, they should work on the daily basis. What is being recorded, where the pitfalls are, what needs to be improved, what is going good, that should be evaluated every day. To date, some form of the balanced scorecard are used by nearly 60% of the Fortune 500 companies. So thank you everyone for the patience listening. Thank you.